Hey fans, welcome to Primo Reef Acrylics. Today we have another update, another video on an aquascape. So this aquascape is for the client in Montreal that is buying the entire package that they seen on my tank. So just wanted to update you on the first phase of the aquascape. So I have the base done, I have the acrylic rods, well I don't mean rods, I mean just little strips. And I have plates. So I took 1/4 inch thick acrylic plates, melted them in the oven, bent them to the desired shape, and then welded onto the aquascape. So this is the left side portion, and then we have the right side. Again, these plates, I was going to use those rocks, but I couldn't find the rocks anymore. It's going to be a couple weeks since we get those rocks again that I use on my personal aquascape, but I'm probably thinking that this is a better alternative than using those rocks, because end of the day, I can actually get a plate that's big enough, small enough, bend it to any shape I want, and get this concept right here, the double tier concept. So I think I'm really happier with this concept than what I did on my tank. Maybe I should take this aquascape. But anyways, we'll leave it for the client. So this is the first phase. I'm going to show you guys around very quickly just from the back. There are probably 2-3 caves inside here, or little arches, that the fishes can actually swim through, in and out. So there's one, there's two. Over here we have a couple in there. So use your imagination on this. There's nothing spectacular where you have to draw it on paper. I say don't even draw it on paper. The best thing is cut the 1/2 inch strips of acrylic, 1 inch wide. Cut a whole bunch of them. Bend them in the oven. See what shapes you come out with. And then use your creativity to weld them onto the board. I think that's the best way to do this. So end of the day, you're going to get a 10 times more better aquascape than planning it out, because when you plan this stuff, it never really works out the way you want it to, and it becomes 100 times harder. So you know what? Leave this for the do-it-yourself, bend it in the oven, and just melt away and freeze it with cold water so it molds the shape and holds the shape, and that's it. And we'll keep you within the second phase. Phase 2 of the aquascape. So now majority of it is done. The base of this aquarium is going to be 48 inches by 20 inches. That's why we have two different masterpieces on the left and the right side. The right side here is definitely much more bigger. It has a sloping curve starting from the right hand side, slopes down towards the right. And then if we go over to the right side of the aquascape, which is this one here, it's definitely much more smaller. So again, this is to promote different coral growth at different heights of the aquarium. This piece here is actually 50% or just below 50% of the height of the aquarium. The height of the aquarium is obviously 20 inches in height, and so that's why that's there. The other side now, I've actually created a 50% ledge, 50% height starting from this point here, and then it kind of ramps up to approximately close to 70% of the height of the aquarium. This is just to accommodate for corals that need more lighting, so you can position them right on it. I actually have right there the two ledges. I kept them as is that way. That just came out by mistake, but I think that's definitely a much more nicer look. I should have done that to definitely more, much more pillars on there. And the cementing was done, which was pretty good. After the cementing, I patched it up with crushed corals, which is the best way to kind of control pH in a certain manner to your aquarium. Again, these rocks definitely have to be cycled, guys. It's not something you want to place inside your aquarium right off the bat. So cycle these as much as possible. Lower your pH, lower your phosphates, and then put them into your aquarium. And then they're going to go through their own cycle. But overall, this setup here is definitely much more spread apart than the one that I have for myself. You're going to have more plates on the top that are different heights, but it also has a lot more bridges and a lot of bridges and caves inside of the aquascape. So that's one thing I like about this. I'm trying to promote a natural way of creating your own rock instead of trying to rip the ocean and taking rocks from the oceans that have been sitting there for millions of years. Again, we're doing a cruel thing by taking fishes away from the ocean. So you know what? Let's try to breed your own fishes at the same time. But starting with the aquascape, guys, do it yourself, because this method looks 10 times better than buying big boulders of rocks from your local fish store. You get it the way you want it, and at the same time, it's definitely a much more better masterpiece to keep in your aquarium than having rocks that are creating a lot of detritus. You're using these big base rocks that are on the floor that you can never move, and they're just trapping detritus over the years or months or years, and then it's just it's a place for a lot of bad algae to start growing, and again, phosphate starts releasing. There's so much chemicals that go in and out. But overall, what I like about these Aquascape is that it's not positioned in one area. You can actually definitely take your hand and just shift it up, shift it back, angle it from back to front. Let's just say in 1 year, you don't really like the way the Aquascape is sitting like that. All you're going to do is just kind of take your hands, rotate it any way you want. Remember, around it is just going to be sand anyways, and then now you just got a different piece of your Aquascape. That's what I like about this type of concept. Even the big Aquascape that I have on this side, the right side of the aquarium, push it back and bring the left side of it forward, and you definitely have a more of a depth in it. So controlling what you want is definitely much more easier with this method than having big boulders of rocks that are positioned somewhere and then you can never move it. But yeah, that's it for now. I'll definitely keep you posted on this video, on this tank, guys. If you have any more questions, post them below. And thank you for watching Primo Reef Acrylics. Again, my website is www.primoreefacrylics.com. I sell aquariums, frag tanks, sumps, aluminum T-shot stands. Feel free to reach me out. If you guys have any questions, email me. But overall, thank you for watching. This is the Ultimate Aquascape.